let's see. Let me get this. This is much better. Let me see here. I'm gonna have a new setup over here. I can see your questions. Ooh, look at my hair. Oh, crazy. All right. YouTube now live. I can actually see my station. All right, so some of you guys probably just got an email saying that I'm live, which is really good. So let me take a look here. Let me join myself. Let's see, live. All right. Click on that. Let's go live. And we'll make that 0. And there's a commercial playing. There, now I can see myself that I'm here. There we go. Skip my ad. Alrighty. There. All right. So, hey ho, you guys. How are you? Happy day, happy day. And let me see here. I gotta figure out why I can't. Oh, Snowy, stop. I got Snowy over here. She's Stop it. Okay, so now I can see the chat here. Let's see. I did put a poll out really quick. I just wanted to see. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Hi, Araceli. How are you? Of course I remember you. Friday is over my shoulder, you guys. There he is. No worse for the wear from this morning. And that's Yoda. So you guys are on my deck. I wish I had a place where I could just kind of put this up here. I might be able to. Hold on. I have a thing. I'm gonna see. I just like spooked you, Eeyore. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. Oh, maybe. I think I can. Oh, look at this. All right. I have the craziest setup right now. I have my umbrella, and the crank handle on the umbrella is holding you guys up. Let's see if I can try to make sure that this stays straight and doesn't fall over, because because the deck moves. There we go. I'm gonna try to catch you guys a little bit. All right, so I just can't see the comments on this one. Thought I would be able to see the comments on this other one, but for some reason there seems to be a massive delay, and I can't see the chat, the live chat. Okay, so there we are. Okay, so there's a delay with the chats from you guys and what's on here. So if you end up hitting a note and I don't see it right away, that's because. So, where's the other horse? Oh, I had 3. So way back, I had Friday, I had Jarvis, which was the white one. And then we had Mr. Darcy, which was the other black one with the T-type blaze. And, oh gosh, we had Noah, and we had Gracie May, and we had a bunch of horses. But the 2 horses that were always here were always Jarvis and Mr. Darcy. And Mr. Darcy passed away first. He colicked really bad about 2 years ago. And that's in a video. So that's how Friday came to be. So we bought Friday as a companion for Jarvis. So we always had at least two horses on the property. And then Jarvis got really sick earlier this year, and we had to put him down. So unfortunately, with me starting my new position, I couldn't, and being out of work for 6 months, we just kind of depleted all our savings. So we bought Yoda. Yeah, we bought Yoda to keep Friday company. So right now I am out looking for, oh good, Zandi. Okay, great, awesome. I'm glad you got notified. So we're out looking for another horse that we can ride, maybe two. He is sound. He is a baby, so he thinks he's unsound, even though x-rays from today showed that he was very much sound. But he's just a baby. He's just a baby. He's like those horses that think that they are hurting, but they're really not. There's no pain there, but they've had such a traumatic instance where they think that they're hurt. So not really sure what we're gonna do with him. He's gonna stay here, but he's not gonna be a daily rider. So we're looking for two more. So that's what happened with the other two. So we usually have three, at least two. So now we'll have two and a donkey. As long as he doesn't move out of frame, I can't turn the camera. So as long as he stays there and doesn't munch off down the pasture, then yeah. So what are your questions? You guys got questions about the live stream. Some of you might have seen it earlier this afternoon. I know over in the UK, it's kind of first thing in the morning over there, so you probably haven't seen it yet. But I have no data, so can't say. Oh, okay, well, thank you anyway. Bye. Yeah, it's tough. You guys, have like a lot of that rely on data to view these things. It's tough. So, oh, excuse me. Oh, pardon me. So I just wanted to jump on if you had any questions about horses being in stocks, especially for these guys, because Jarvis and Gracie May and Noah and all the other horses I've ever had, the draft horses, they've always picked up their feet and was able to get their feet trimmed. He's the first one that we have had to put in stocks, and I don't like stocks. I don't like them, but it's not my preference. He was most likely an Amish workhorse, which is why he has to be in stocks. Let me see if I can turn this just a little tiny bit without having it fall down. There they are. I'll just move my chair. So, are you going to get a Friesian? Oh, I think Friesian horses are nice. Yes, I love a Friesian, but no, sadly, we will not. Friesians have the body type that we really like. We like that long style, the tall, leggy style, like how Jarvis was. But I don't like the high energy of a Friesian, I guess. Plus, they're really expensive. I love the head. I love the Friesians. I love the way that they look. But we're probably going to stick with Percherons. I'd like to get a Clydesdale, but with the Carolina mud, and you'd have to clean their feet all the time. And since I still work during the day, I'm not working at home anymore. Those feathers need a lot of attention all the time. Otherwise, you get scratches. Like if you guys go back to some of my old videos of Bishop. Now, Bishop came to us. We bought him from a feedlot / dealer that I usually don't buy from. But the people that own him now, they saw him and they were like, oh my gosh, we love him. We want him. So I ended up pulling him and doing all this stuff. And now Bishop is wonderful. He's doing great. He's got this beautiful girlfriend and he's just fantastic and he's so spoiled. But he did come with scratches. So they shaved off all the feathers on him to help dry it out. So there's a big horsefly in here. So yeah, I'd love a Shire. I think they were the most amazing horses. Again, with the feathers. So the Percherons have the goofy personality that we really like. They have enough energy, but not so much where husband, doesn't want to run. He just wants to walk. Husband was in a motorcycle accident and he had some surgery on his hips, and so he's got 2 plates in his hips. So trotting and doing a sitting trot or even any type of posting is out of the question for him. So we need a horse that just wants to meander around, which is why we have the oldies. And the short-backed ones like him, they tend to be a little bit more bouncy. Even if they just go in a nice, like, kind of spirited walk, they get a little bouncy for him. So if we're looking for a horse with a longer back, more of a square, so as long as they are tall, sort of, yeah. But I don't know. Oh, California, yeah. I don't think you have the mud that we do, unless it starts coming down the slopes on mudslides. But Southern California, I was in, and see, I went to not Long Beach. Yeah, Long Beach, California. Yeah, I was there for 2 weeks. Yeah, over, and I stayed at the Queen Mary. And you enjoy California. And I'll stay here with my 110 degree and 90 degree humidity out here in the Carolinas. I don't even know why I'm here. It's just too crazy here. But yeah, California's a cool place. Very, very unique everywhere. I mean, the whole state is just kind of like, you never know what you want. I mean, you want to go Napa Valley, you want to go Silicon Valley, you want to go southern by the border, and you get a little bit of everything, but it's just so massive. It takes, I mean, you have to fly to get from one end to the other. I mean, at least here I can drive. But, so Friday is doing good. The x-rays, if you looked at if you were on the live feed, and at the end, or even if you go back to it, they talk about, you can see them pointing and doing this on the screen, and basically what they're doing is, when Friday came to me last year and we took x-rays right away for this first trim, his hoof wall and his coffin bone, they're supposed to be together like this. They're supposed to be of equal distance apart because the lamina is between them and holds it together. Now, if it's separated like this, you're having separation and pulling of the lamina, which causes founder, and it's very, very painful. So what constant trimming will do is get the foot to kind of fix itself, and the foot grows from the top down, just like your fingernail grows from the top down, you know. And when we first had it, it was like that. There was just too much of a gap between the hoof wall and the coffin bone, which makes it rotate down. So the corrective trimming has evened that space out. Now it's still just like a little tiny, there was a little tiny bit that was a little separate from the way it was, but 90% of it is back to normal. So if your farrier says you can't fix a foundering horse, you can fix it. You just have to have a good one. I'm gonna get a draft horse with long hair. I mean, long manes? Yeah, I'd like to. Long manes and long tails. Aren't they so beautiful? Like the gypsies? Darcy's mane was the longest one that we had. I mean, he had just this awesome mane and this beautiful, and then Noah had the big tail. He had this big floofy, oh my gosh, it was more like Fabio tail. But most of the draft horses that we get are retired workhorses, so they've trimmed their manes all up. We do try to get them to grow longer. Like his was what, and basically is you take all the hair and you trim it down to like that, like all the way down the mane, and it takes a long time to grow out. Just like people hair, it takes a while to grow out. But we're trying to let his grow out, and his tail has actually grown out about this much since we got him, which is really cool. So he's moving around. Him and Yoda are back over. They gotta stop moving. You're gonna only see like the side of the house pretty soon. And my phone keeps moving. So let me see if I can move over a little bit. So I'm gonna try. We're looking for something, but you know, whatever happens to fall in our lap will fall in our lap, and we won't say no to it as long as we can ride it. And even then, we'll try to figure something out. So I have a little bit of grape juice here, And it's one of these kind of days. Long morning, worked, and then we went to the Farrier, and then I came home and did some more work. And now the day's over. It's 6:30, 6:45. I'm gonna probably be here for a little while, Araceli, so if you want to pop out and then pop back in, you know, you can do that. I should be here for a little while. I know I've got 3 people that wanted to come in at 7, so that's in another 15 minutes. So I'll be here for a little while. Hopefully there'll be more people popping in as the night goes on. A friend of mine, actually, he's in, I should tell him I'm live. Maybe he might pop in. He's up in Alaska, and maybe he'll pop in. But I'm glad you did, Araceli. So let's see. You know, there's I have a lady that's here in North Carolina. She's on the God and Country board, and her name is Araceli. It's a beautiful name. I think it means angel. I think it was angel or something like that. She's such a sweetheart. But so yeah, so Friday. Let's see, what can I tell you? So the stocks. Let's see. What's my next live stream? I have no idea. Live streams are kind of like, I'd like to try to get them to be more scheduled. I'm thinking I want to do them on Sundays because they're just easier for me, and I usually have husband here and he can help out with stuff, or we can have like a fireside or something. But sometimes it's hard on a Sunday. Saturdays are usually pretty much out because we're doing stuff around the farm, and then but Sundays usually we reserve for no work, no just play. We go to the vineyards or something like that. But I'll try to do them. I can't be doing during the week because by the time I get home I'm exhausted after feeding him all that. Where did he go? Oh, he's right there. He's like right there. So I'm gonna try to do them on Sundays, but you know, don't hold me to it yet. Let's see. I have church on Sundays. Yeah, we do too in the morning. I don't go to church at night. We go in the morning. So usually Sundays, all morning, we go to church in the morning, come home, do some cleanup. Not really a lot, you know, maybe do the dishes, maybe a little laundry or something like that. And then about 2:30 Eastern time, we're out the door or heading over to a friend's house to enjoy some wine and just relax with our friends and stuff like that. So I'll see what I can do, but watch for them. I'll definitely make sure I put posts up at least 24 hours in advance. That way you guys can schedule your time or something like that. Hopefully we get to see you. That'll be really cool. It'll be nice because it's kind of boring talking to myself all the time. At least I don't answer myself. But so Yoda, let's see. Well, Jarvis has passed away, Araceli, so I'm gonna probably be riding Friday. Jarvis passed away in March, so we went on vacation to Corpus Christi in late January for a week, and it was at that time that he had gotten into it. We bought a round bale of hay to put out to let them, you know, just in case our babysitter was running late or something like that, so they'd have hay all the time. And there was something in the hay, and it was just awful. Either that or he had slipped while we were gone, and he ended up having some type of inflation in his neck. So when it's actually kind of a good segue into this next topic, but his back end started degrading, and when one morning I was getting ready to go to work and I looked out the window and he was laid out on the ground. He wouldn't get up. So I have a video I made of that to let people know what it looks like when, you know, there's an injury somewhere. And he covered it up so well, and then he got better, and then he just went and it was just awful. So yeah, we ended up putting him down in March. So there's Yoda, and Friday is off camera, and if I turn this more you won't be able to see, so you'll have to watch Yoda. But I'd like to take Friday out for another little walk pretty soon. Oh, there he is. He doesn't want to be. I guess Yoda got really nervous without him, and my husband works from home, and he's like, every time you were gone, every 5 minutes he would bray. It was funny. Yeah, me too. Me too. Hi, Lori. How are you? So, I have my iPad over here. So if you see me look down, I'm looking at the iPad because I can see the things come up, but I can't read them until they're down here. But yeah, I've got a ride Friday, and I want to get the GoPro set up again. I liked it when I had the rig here, so the GoPro was like right here. I have to invest in a new one. The GoPro that I have is really old. I mean, everything I have is old. I have to really start updating my technology to the point where the guy that we work with, he just came on. He's our new videographer for Raptor Attachments, and he does all the content creation and all the banners and stuff. So things that you're seeing on their website now are his creations. And he's a great videographer. He used to do weddings and all sorts of crazy stuff, but he's like, you know what? I just want to just go home, go to work, go home, go to work. I don't want to have to work on the weekends. I want to see my kids. So he's got all this cool gadgets. So I'm really envious. So I gotta upgrade a little bit. Let's see. I do not ride with a saddle all the time. 90% of the time it's bareback. One, I'm lazy. I don't like to tack up. Two, I'm lazy. So it's just much easier just to put on a halter. I don't use bits here, so we just put on a rope halter and jump on their back and go. And to me, I like having that contact. But if I'm gonna ride for a really long distance, or if I want him to trot or something, then I'll throw a saddle on him. But for the most part, around here, I just ride bareback. So it's kind of nice. Let's see. Let's see. Lori, where are you from? And Zandi, I think Zandi's gone for the day. So I started, let's see. Let me see, where did I start getting into horses? Oh, a long time ago. My daughter was 4, actually 4 or 5. I think 5, because I was living in Maine. So she might have been 6 even. But she wanted to ride. And I said, well, I'll start mucking out stalls. And I've always liked horses before then, but never owned any, you know. But I mucked out stalls for riding lessons for my daughter. And oh yeah, I was in Maine. I was living in Maine, in Turner, Maine. No, not Turner. I was living in Cumberland. That's where it was. I was living in Cumberland, and there was a Morgan horse farm, because Morgans are pretty popular in Maine. And okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Oh, get pizza. All right, enjoy that pizza. So I would muck out stalls and in exchange for riding lessons for my daughter, and that's how I got into really horses. We went to the big fairs, and I always liked the big horses. You know, if we ever went on a horse trail ride, I always looked down the line and saw on the biggest horse that was there, I wanted to ride that one. So, oh, excuse me. So that was Eeyore. He's behind. He's like, no, I'm gonna go inside. So you'll have to forgive my shirt. I got the husband's shirt on today. And I look much bigger than I am. I'm actually really, you know what they say? They say that video makes you gain 10 pounds. I'm not really, I'm skinnier than this. But Yoda came from the same place he came from. I bought Yoda as a companion for him. Let's see. Oh yeah, Lori, I mean, seriously, I think it's a rite of passage. If you don't have hair on your butt, you are not riding. That's the way. My old barn, That's the way it was when we all just kind of just got on. So there was some people that would tack up 100%, but you know, for the most part, you brush them all off and you get on and you got hair on your butt. It just kind of works that way. But I have to be careful and not wear my bling butt, you know, pants. I gotta wear the pants without any buttons on the back. See, now he's going this way. Let me see if I can move. Friday. He's all happy. He's like, yeah. Well, Donkey will catch up. So I want you guys to see Friday, mostly. There. But yeah. Yes. Yeah. Bareback is the way to go. I'm telling you, you get close contact and even the saddles, you know, you don't feel that if you have a horse that's gonna over exaggerate, or if he's like gonna get nervous over something, or if he's gonna crow hop over, you know, a stream that's that wide, you want to feel that, and you can. So for all the guys that don't really ride a lot on my channel, when you're sitting on the horse, you can feel that muscle. Then that muscle comes up and you can tell, oh crap, you know, I gotta hold on pretty soon because he's about to do something. Or you can get ahead of it and you can calm him down way before he blows up. So it's actually, to me, I think it's a lot safer because you have so much more information being passed between you and the horse. And if you're nervous and you tighten up, and he figures it out too, because, you know, he can feel it too, right? Yeah, it does rub on the back though. That's the only thing. But if you've got a good seat and you move with him, it doesn't really rub so much. But yeah, it took a little while for me to get used to that, because that's how I rode Jarvis. I mean, I bought Jarvis and I didn't have any money left over. I spent all my money on my 2 horses instead of 1, and I was like, well, let's ride him on a rope halter and we'll buy the tack as we go. So I just jumped on his back. I mean, heck, the first few times that I rode him, the barn had an arena, which we're gonna build an arena pretty much where he is. And I had no reins. So I had my lead rope and I'd have the rope halter and I'd tie it on one side, I'd flip it around and I'd tie it on the other side. And I could have done it on the side, so I had like a kind of a side pull. And then later on I learned how to tie I don't even know the word of it, the medicite or something like that underneath. So I would have the reins at the bottom, so it would almost fit like a boselle on the nose. So, and then I would do 1 reins and I would teach him, and we would ride with 1 rein. I'd hook the halter to the bottom and we'd just ride with lead rope in 1 hand. So Jarvis was very well trained because of the non-functioning tech that I didn't have. So I do that, and I think that's how I got into it, really is with these guys, because that's what I do with him too. Like, I'll be out in the pasture here and I'll just take a lead rope and I'll snap it underneath his halter, and if I want him to go the other way, I swing the lead rope over his head and make him go the other way, and then we go to swing it over his head and we go that way. And that's how he learns to, 1, accept things going over his head and getting caught on his nose and around, because, you know, I'm not very graceful over that. And 2, he feels me moving around and he gets to realize, you know, my leg, and teaches him that way. So we have fun and we play, and that's how we teach versus lessons all the time. So that's kind of how I do things around here. My riding instructor would probably have a fit if she heard me saying all this, because when I moved up here, my husband wanted to ride and he needed a refresher course. So we were right around the corner in North Carolina from White Rose Equestrian, and she's from England. I don't know exactly where, but she was a hunter jumper, and she has this beautiful course. But when I first met her, it was just like a little arena. She had just started up, you know, with lessons and everything. So I started riding her horse, and she was teaching me how to kind of a refresher. She was teaching my husband kind of a refresher. And she taught me an awful lot. She Very great trainer, is amazing. And then we went down to Abernathy, and Lisa Abernathy, a very good friend of mine, she helped bring us to another level without going into a hunter jumper style, because, you know, husband doesn't want to jump, I don't want to jump, we just want to walk, we just want to have fun. But always have training. Always have training. Yeah, no, that's, you got stepped on. But always have training. Always train your horse. But yeah, that's no good. Anyway, let's see. You got pinned by a horse in the stall, and you got stepped on. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten stepped on. I think even Jarvis broke my foot. Hi, Yoda. I don't know what he was doing just then. So my very first time that I got stepped on was I was taking Jarvis out on a walk and I live in, if you look on a map in North Carolina, I'm near Winston-Salem, and there's this park called Winston-Salem, you know, Salem Lake Park, because it goes around a lake. It's 7 miles on the lake. It's awesome. And it's covered, and it's just nice trails, really fantastic. I love going there. And I was walking Jarvis like I would a dog. We weren't riding. I just wanted him to check it out, because sometimes when I go to a new place, I don't really want to ride because I'd much rather walk it. Just kind of introduce them to it, and it was really nice. So we were walking down this hill, and the path came down, well, here, I'll show you. It came down, and it wrapped around a little bit, and then it kind of turned back on itself. So we were in the part where it was getting ready to turn back on itself, and he saw some pedal bikers on the other side and decided to encroach on me a little bit. I don't know why he decided to sidestep, but he landed right on my foot. And I swear, I think the whole lake heard me yell at him. I was like, get off my foot. So yeah, that's never very good. My mom, Darcy, stepped on my mom's foot. Darcy stepped on my foot. Yeah, never go out into the pasture with bare feet, ever, unless the horse is not around, and then you can go out and do whatever you want. But if you're going to be around a horse, or even a donkey, or anything, do not go out in flip-flops. Do not go out in bare feet. Do not go out in Crocs. Do not go out in, well, you can go out in rubber boots if you really had to. I'd rather not, but, you know, wear some good foot protection, because these guys can step on your feet. And even though he's only 1680 something pounds, which he's really light, you know, it hurts. It's heavy. It's not fun. So vineyard, this is Brandon Hills. This is a little vineyard that's around us by where we are, and they do a lot of blends and so forth, but it's one of my favorite new places that I like to go to, and they make pretty good wine. Although I don't have any crackers or any cheese, but yep. They're so cute. It's so quiet around here. Hunting season has started, and I have not been out yet. Hunting season started on the 9th of September, and you've seen a couple of my other reviews of some of my other blinds that I've got up there. It's just been so hot lately during the day, and I'm like, I process my deer, and I don't have a place to hang them, and I don't have a refrigerated section, so that means if I go hunting and if I get a deer, I have to process it here like that night, and it takes a long time to process the deer by yourself. So I don't, at least not until the winter when it gets a little colder. But let's see, what else can I talk to you guys about? I don't know, let's see, new things. Oh, I spoke to a gentleman who is also from Maine, and they're walking off camera again. Come on, there we go. Here are the boys. So I talked to a gentleman the other day. He owns a company that, so what's going on with my hair back here? They're called Forever Windows, and you could probably look it up online. And he's a very good friend of my husband's. And he said that he has a whole bunch of like used up windows from when they replace people's windows. So I think one of my new projects in the wintertime is going to be making a greenhouse out there, because my garden looks pretty awful on its own. And I'm going to build one of those window greenhouses. So it'll be like 8 windows, 4, maybe 5 windows long. And then you'll have the 5 windows on the top and then the ridge on the top. I'm thinking that'll be really fun, because I'd like to be able to get our garden back up and running again, but I haven't had the time. So if I do like planters in the garden, if I don't have to be outside in the middle of winter, that'll be kind of nice, because the sun is actually really warm around here in the wintertime. I call it, because moving in New Hampshire, the sun comes out, but it's just bright. It's not warm. It's not a warming sun. It's just bright. It's out there. It's just there because the freaking air is so cold, and the snow and the ground is freezing. So when I moved down here in the middle of winter, it was like December, January type thing, and we just had this like little tiny bit of snow, and it was pretty awesome. I was like, wow, this warm sun, very warm sun. Let's see. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Not sure if anyone has asked this question, but have you ever been seriously bitten by any of the horses you've gotten? Never. Not one horse I have ever had has ever bitten me. Ever. I consider myself very lucky. But yeah, draft horses are usually not very aggressive or mean. I was afraid that maybe Donkey would bite at some point, because he's a Jack. Yoda is the name of the donkey. But he hasn't, none of them have a mean bone in their body. I mean, I've seen people get bit. It's not pretty. But I guess if you pay attention to the body language, I mean, a horse could bite you if you're just walking by a stall or something, and it come out and bite you, you know, like on the other YouTube videos where you see that one horse tries to bite everybody as he walks by because he's defending his stall. But if you're vigilant around the horse, which you should be, if you're around a horse that you don't know, you should be highly paying attention to their body language and the ears, their mannerisms, the way that they throw their head, the way that they look at you, the way that they're standing or whatever. Yeah, I've never gotten bit, thankfully. Knock on wood, I'll never get bit. Although I'm sure if I've been around horses long enough, it'll happen one of these days, I'm sure. So, Dawn, are you talking from experience? Have you ever been bit? Because I can't imagine being bit by a draft horse would be very comfortable. I mean, their teeth are massive, huge teeth. And I know donkeys are like zebra, they don't like to let go. So I don't think I'd want to be bit by him either. Yoda! Hi, buddy! Yoda! You guys can't see it very well, but that ear. They're doing really good this year on pasture. Man, he's gonna stop walking away. Maybe at least they're hanging out here, and they're not somewhere where you guys can't see them. But you almost got bit, Lori. Tell me about it. Tell me about the whole story, and write me a little note and let me know, what happened. Let's see. You've been bitten the first time, or horse bite. Oh, yikes. Yeah. Yeah, racehorses tend to be a little bit more high-strung. I would presume that a racehorse, if I was around them, I'd probably get bit by one. If I were to be bit by one. Probably. On the neck, huh? I'm always worried about my farrier. Like, Jarvis would rest his lips on my farrier's, right here, on the farrier's, the neck. And obviously that's gonna petrify a farrier, because they've got their head down and they're with the feet, and then the head. I mean, it's our responsibility to make sure that the head stays up and not bite them in the back of the neck. But he used to let Jarvis do that. Jarvis would rest his head on his back. So, but yeah, that'll be pretty scary. They're fast. They'll come right out and, you know, they'll get you. One of my girlfriends, her name is Aicha, and she trains, and she owns two thoroughbreds and another, I think it's Hanoverian or something, maybe. He might be a Hanoverian style. He's gray. His name is Ghost, and or Snow. His name is Snow. And she owns Khan, and I don't know the other one's name, but Khan was her first thoroughbred. And everybody at the barn said, no, you should not get a thoroughbred. He was on the track thoroughbred. So when he came off, he went to this rescue, and she adopted him from there. And we were all worried. All the barn family was all very worried about him or her, because most of us had Tennessee walking horses or Rocky Mountains horses, or you know, something like that, or maybe quarter horses. So we were worried about this thoroughbred coming in, and it was fine. He was fine. Khan's fine. I even actually rode him, and that's the weirdest part. It's very, very seldom will you ever see me riding a light horse, like light meaning quarter horse or Arabian or, you know, Andalusian or anything, but other than a draft horse. But I rode Dolly, and she was a Rocky Mountain horse, and of course Jack, he was my horse, so obviously I would ride him, but I didn't ride him a lot. You know, he was a Tennessee Walker. And then I rode Sassy, who is a Tennessee walking horse, and she's just amazing. And I rode Khan, and I think I rode this other horse. I don't know his name, but he was really super fussy, so I got off and walked him the rest of the way. I was like, we're not gonna have this argument. So I got off, and he walked, and I walked. So let's see. Oh, they were abused by another person. A guy used to have, I hate it. Why do people do that? I mean, seriously. I mean, there was that one video. Remember that girl up in Canada where she actually like dragged her horse behind a truck, and she videoed it, and they arrested her for abuse because she put it up on Facebook, and the horse's like feet were bleeding. She had dragged it, and the horse was like put its feet out. It was just awful. I seriously don't understand how someone can have that much hate in them to torture a horse like that. I mean, yeah, they got their minds of their own, but really, you gotta be some type of person to start beating horses and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it, but it's just awful. There's so much you can do with a horse as a partnership, and you don't have to hit them. I mean, it's awful. I'm sorry you had to be around people that would do that to horses, and that made them that way. But a lot of the horses that we get here have been abused like that as well. They're overworked or have been abused, and they don't have a lot of trust, so they come here, and I just deal with them for a long time and gain their trust, and just kind of we work together, and I get to, you know, let them know that, hey, not everybody's gonna beat you with a whip or a stick, or yell at you and scream at you and make you do what you're not wanting to do. So, but yeah, it makes me angry. Yeah, it makes a lot of people angry, I'm sure. You know, any equestrian, you don't want to see anybody hitting a horse. It's just awful. And you can always tell the ones that do. You know, really, if you've ever been around horses and that one person beats a horse or has that attitude or not necessarily even beats them, but just like hits them all the time, you know, whips them or whatever. The horses all know. I swear they all talk to each other. And they know because they're not gonna, that you'll see it just a little bit. The ear thing, every once in a while, maybe their facial expression will kind of either get really big or they'll kind of get, or they'll turn their head or something. Just keep an eye on those people that walk by. They have that aura of yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. But yeah, it's just awful. Yeah, dogs too. Don't even get me started with the dogs, because we used to work. My husband and I, before we had horses, we rode motorcycles, and I was the president of a motorcycle sport bike club, and we would do a lot of the donations and a lot of the rides for Gaston County Animal Control. And that's how I got Eeyore, was through them. And dogs would come in left and right, all beaten, embedded collars and feet all tore up because they're outside on hot pavement, or mange and fleas and ticks or whatnot. People are evil, I'm telling you. Sometimes people are evil, but you know, I will say there are more good people in this world than evil people, so don't worry, we can breed. The good people can breed with other good people and make more good people. So that's the thing we have to remember, is there are a lot more good people in the world than there are evil people, and the good always outweighs the bad. So we just take it in stride and let the bad people fester and take themselves out, and you know, we just take care of the animals, because that's what we are. We're stewards. Oh yeah, Graham oh gosh, he was so fired up over that one. Oh, and I'm glad he was. I like his stance on a lot of things up in Canada, and it's so weird up there how they can be so protective of horses yet eat them. I don't understand that at all, but I guess it's just the way you brought up. It's kind of like cows. You know, we love our cows, and you know, we show them and we do a lot of things with cows, and we still eat them. So I don't know, I guess it's just a way that you're brought up, but it is what it is. And I don't condone the practice at all. I've heard horse meat is very good. Not sure if I'd want to try it, but I hear it's very good. Let's see, there he is. But you know, I'll tell you, if the zombie apocalypse came and push came to shove, you got 1,600 pounds of meat right there. It's terrible. I should not say that. Let's edit this out, right? You know, go back and bleep it out. All right, let's see a couple other things. Let's see. My neighbor dragged his dog behind the tractor until he was dead. What? Oh my God. I really like the dog. The kids used to kick the pony they had too. Hey Araceli, how was your pizza? You're back. Yeah, that's... I don't do animal abuse very well. What's up, Friday? Hi. How are you doing? How you doing, buddy? He says I'm gonna go get a drink. Yep. He is such a dainty drinker. So there are some horses that we've had. Noah, for one. And let me see, who else? She was a boarder. Reba. She was a boarder here. They would like shove their whole like nose all the way up to the, like over their lips to get at the water. And him and Mr. Darcy would just barely put their lips on the top, because you know, the horses have cheeks, so they can like drink from a straw like we can, you know, like that. So he would just barely dip his bottom lip into the water and drink out of it, and that's what he does. He's so dainty. I love watching him drink. But since he's had a drink, my guess in the next couple minutes is he's gonna walk that way and keep on going. And then I might be able to show him, if he walks around this way, I might be able to show you. So yeah, no horse meat. No. But if push came to shove and I was dying, I probably would if I was dying, like on my deathbed dying. I'll go out and I'll eat squirrel first. Mm. But he's doing good. I gave him some butte when I got home, because the stocks, like if I ever had to have a pair of stocks here, I'd be wrapping them with bubble wrap and blankets, because it puts a lot of strain on them. It's like if you were just leaning up against a pole or a 2x4 for a while, it kind of digs in. And even though it doesn't really hurt you, but it's uncomfortable. So you try to move it, and if your hands are tied, and it's really uncomfortable, and then you stress out, and that's what happens with him. So, yeah, maybe. Big maybe, if I was on my deathbed. But he might actually just stay here. There's the dog. I don't know, somebody might be walking. Hi, Eeyore. So the way that all of this is set up here, you guys can't see it, obviously. My house is right here on that wall, and the rest of the pasture. See, I told you. Do I know him or what? I don't know where he's going. Let me see if I can turn this a little bit. There's a chicken coop right there. And there he is. Told you he was gonna go. After he has water, he takes off. So I think he's gonna stand up. There's a fire pit right there. So when we do our firesides, it's usually right there. And then I have another fire pit down here. I have a patio that's down there, but that's usually the chicken coop right there. I don't know what he plans on doing. I think he's gonna take a nap. Friday, are you napping? What are you doing? Yoda's still over here. But anyway, the house is right there on that side. And then there's a main road that goes in front of the house. And on the other side, there's a big field full of soybeans. And then my hunting field is out that way. So this pasture goes out and around. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But there's peach trees. Where's the peach trees? Anyway, you guys can't see the peach trees. But anyway, we do the fireside chat right there. And those are always fun to do, especially in the middle of winter when it's really, really super cold. We'll bring out some like soup, and I'll have like a giant pot. And sometimes down here, I don't know if you can see that or not. I can't tell if you can see. Oh yeah, you can. You can see the fire pit. We'll have a grate go over it, and I'll have my giant, huge pot, and I'll stick it on there, and we'll just cook up some stew or something like that in the middle of winter, and just be around the fire. And it's just nothing like that in the winter. You know, it's just all nice and warm. Have some big beef stew. All right, let's see. Yeah, Lori, I probably would have beat him too. I'm sure. And I'm sure he didn't learn his lesson. I'm sure he's out there doing it again, but some people you just can't teach. You know what I mean? Oh, there's Yoda. Okay, so what Friday's doing right now is, oh, see, Yoda's getting on him. He wants him to move. He says, I don't want to stand next to the fire pit. I don't know, maybe let's try this. Let's try this. Move you guys. Let me go turn this around. I think I can zoom in. So there are the peach trees. There's Yoda. I don't like to move around a lot up here because I don't have a lot of internet over here. But there's Yoda. There's the fire pit. And Friday's butt, which if you watched the live stream, you probably saw a lot of that. There's the chicken coop. Chicken coop has no chickens in it. I am chickenless right now. And that's really bad. Let's see. So let's see, there's the back of the pasture, and on the other side, like over there, is where I put the big hay basket. What are you doing in there? What is he doing? What are You guys look at this silly donkey. Yoda, what are you doing? Oh, okay. So here's a cool thing. I'm very glad he's doing this. So if you have a wormer, and of course everybody worms their horses, and I'm wondering if this is the same with like a cattle. Stony Ridge farmer up in here, he's here in North Carolina. He is a first generation regenerative farmer. And as strange as that sounds, regenerative just means that they don't use any type of pesticides or chemicals or fertilizers or anything. They use the land itself to regenerate all by itself. They work with nature. So they are extremely patient people. And what he's got like 100 acres or 90 acres or something like that up there. And super awesome guy. You'll have to check him out on YouTube. His the Stony Ridge farmer. And super awesome guy. And I watched a video of his where he had some fire. He had a fire and he took the logs that were charred and put them out for the cows. And apparently it is a charcoal is a natural wormer. So of course, since he's regenerative, he doesn't give them wormers like you and I do, ivermectin or all that stuff, Zemectrin and so forth. So the cows eat the charcoal off of the logs. So I'm wondering if that's what he's doing. I don't know. He looks like he's just eating some stuff that's in there, though. Of course, there's Friday's butt. Yoda! I'd take you down, but I'd run out of internet. We have this little Wi-Fi block type thing that I usually keep in my pocket as I wander around. But I think I used up all the data on it when I was doing my Wi-Fi at Davie County Large Animal Hospital today. Yes, Lighthouse, that is Donkey. That's Yoda. I call him Donkey, so if you ever hear me refer to Donkey as Yoda, Yoda is his name. And he's doing good. Friday's right here. Half of Friday is right there. He's resting. But he's doing good though, huh? Hi, Yoda. Yoda! Lighthouse says hi. He's like, yep. Just gonna sit in here and eat this stuff that's in the fire pit. Oh, Lori probably. Mostly in the mountains. I have a very good friend of mine who is on the other side of the pasture, who is a big Bigfoot fan. And she sends me all these things that go on. But I think, you know, as weird as this may seem, when I was very, very little, like I'm talking like 8, I thought I might have seen one, but you know, I was 8, so it probably was just somebody in the woods. But yeah, I hear there's some sightings over in the northeastern part of North Carolina, over by the Virginia line. I hear there's a lot of sightings up there, but who knows? I don't know. Looks like Friday has moved. He's probably gone into the run-in. That's the run-in there. We have to rebuild it still. As you can see, it's still mangled from when the mares were here. It's been so hot this summer. I haven't done anything with out here at all. But it's starting to cool off now, so we can start doing things on the weekends. But this is our sunset at the moment. That's east. But it's pretty quiet out here tonight. I'm kind of liking it. It's pretty good. I can't complain. Let's see, I'll put you guys back since you can't see Friday anymore. And that probably means I'll be wrapping this up a little bit because if you can't see the horses, there's no need to talk to me because you guys hear me yammering enough as it is. And it's about 7:30, so I've been on for about an hour and still haven't finished my glass of wine. Nor have I had dinner. And husband is out mowing, so he won't be back until, let's see, 7:30, 8:30, another hour and a half. So maybe I might wrap this up a little bit, and let's see if there's any more questions. I used to camp in the White Mountains and heard that. Really? In the White Mountains? Oh, well, that's New Hampshire. Really? You used to hear them in the White Mountains? I used to go camping up there. I haven't camped up there since the old man fell down. And for you guys who don't know New Hampshire very well, they had the Old Man in the Mountain, which was that profile. He was actually built out of rock. And then you go around Profile Lake, you could see a profile of Old Man in the Mountain. And one year, when I was maybe 13-ish, his nose fell off. So they actually went up and they gave him plastic surgery, and they reconstructed his nose with chains and all sorts of stuff. And it never looked 100% perfect. It always looked a little off. But I mean, this is rock. I mean, what are you gonna do with rock that falls? I mean, and then one year he just completely fell off the side of the mountain. So now if you go up to New Hampshire, you'll see all these Old Man in the Mountain paraphernalia, and Profile Lake is named after him, and there's no more Old Man in the Mountain. But I believe Gotcha. I do believe Indian Head is still there. So if you go up to, I'm trying to do this here. If you go up to the White Mountains, you can see, there you are. I'm gonna put you down here on the table now. But if you go up to the mountains, you can see Indian Head. Let me see what this looks like. Because there's a delay on this. I mean, see, I'm still talking. There you go. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. But yeah, you can go up and see Indian Head. And Indian Head is, it's again, like the Old Man in the Mountain. And there's a tower you can go up on and peep through them and stuff like that. Fake snore. Yeah, back in the 70s. Hey Christian, how are you? Fake snore, please? What? I don't fake snore. I snore. But yeah, so gosh, I haven't been back to New Hampshire in years. So when did you be up there? Are you up in there now, Lori? Is that where you're from? Yes, Lighthouse. Yeah, Yoda is very wise. He is he's been around, I think, and he's seen quite a few bits of life, and he's doing pretty good. He's learning that when I go up to pet him, he'll turn his face away like somebody hit him a lot, but then he realizes it's me and that I'm just gonna love on him. And I don't ever grab his ears, at least not yet, because most people will grab a donkey's ears or a mule's ears and they'll rip it and turn it, stuff like that, to make them kind of like a twitch on a horse, but they grab their ears. So I don't really play with his ears a lot until he learns that he can trust me a little bit better. Oh, North Attleboro. Okay, Massachusetts. I got family in Billerica, Tewksbury. Let me see. My cousin, well, my godmother used to live in Malden, and now her son lives there. And let me see, who else? I thought my cousin lived in North Attleboro. I don't know. She moved. She lived in Tewksbury for a while, and then she bought a house. So I'm not really sure what town she lives in. We just chat on Facebook and stuff. I never mail her anything, so I don't know what town she lives in anymore. Yeah, so I got family all up in Massachusetts still. That's so cool. So you're starting to get cooler weather, much cooler weather. And they call in for snow on Halloween, maybe. There's always snow. Oh gosh, it was always so cold on Halloween up there. It's just not fun. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Very cool. I just drive my truck. You should come down here. It's nice. In the fall, like don't come. If anybody wants to come down to North Carolina or come up to North Carolina or over to North Carolina, depending on where you are, August and September, just go away. let us be miserable on our own because it's awful here in those 2 months, August and September. You would figure August and September is a fall, you know, it starts to cool down. No, that's when the sun meets the state and it's freaking hot. The sun is hot, the humidity is just miserable. So if you have like hair that's like mine and the humidity, it just goes and then you're done. You look like this. But the rest of the time, like right now, the middle to the end of September, it's not bad. I mean, it's chilly in the morning and it's nice during the day. It's starting to dry out. And then October is fantastic. October, November, it's really nice. December, it starts to chill out a little bit. Christmas, you might get a little flurry. Not really. January and February is probably the coldest month, but January you might get some snow, maybe not. But normally we get snow in February. If we're gonna get snow, it's gonna be in February. And then by March, all of the snow is gone and the sun is back out and it's absolutely beautiful and it starts to warm up. So winter is like around here. I love it. Summer, it doesn't ever want to go away. It's just by the time like the beginning of September shows up, you're just like, okay, I'm done with this heat. I just want a little bit of cold, just a little bit. And then by the time I'm done with the cold, it starts to warm up. So let's see. Yeah, summer. Really, was it summer then up there? It was oh, Kentucky. Oh, I was in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, I used to say Louisville, and I did a job out in Louisville, and I was corrected many times very quickly that you do not pronounce Louisville as Louisville. I always did because New Hampshire, you use your words, you know, it's Louisville, Kentucky. No, he told me, he says, pronounce the state or pronounce the city like you have a piece of angel food cake in your mouth. And you say the town. So it's Louisville, like you take your tongue and put it in the back. I don't know. I've been saying it that way ever since afterwards. So I guess it kind of stuck with me a little bit. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think the sun's starting to go down a little bit. I was trying to see if maybe you could see over the house. The sunset is really quite pretty, but I'd have to take you through the house, and you don't want to see the house. Let's see, everybody's gone. Everybody's gone over here. But here, let me turn around. I'll show you. That's usually what I see out in the morning. This west is over there, but this is that field I was telling you guys about in the morning. This is where we're going to put the arena. If I can, it's going to go here. As much as I don't want to have an arena so close to the road, if I bring it back to about here, a regulation size arena will go from right about here all the way out to the street, and I'm 10 feet shy this way. So it's probably gonna be a lot smaller than this, but I think I just saw Yoda go into the barn. Yeah, I think I just saw him go in the barn. Oh, you know what I can do? Watch this, you guys. I'm gonna show you something really fun. I'm gonna show you something fun before we go. This is our security cameras. This usually doesn't happen very often. This is pretty cool. All right, this is the hay barn. This is the hay barn. This is behind me. That's that red barn. And there he is. He's in there. Come on. There he is. There's Friday. He's gonna take a nap. I just put some fresh straw in there the other day. So Yoda is probably over here somewhere. I don't see him on the other side. But this is probably going to be what I'm going to set up in the barn for you guys, so you guys can see it. But he's going to take a nap. He is very so he's had a long day. He's had a really super long day, you guys. Let's see, what else do we have here? Anything else? Oh, thank you. Nice sunset. Yeah, I'd like to live in Kentucky. But you know, Kentucky gets snow too. And Lori, I'm not a big snow person anymore. But thank you. So it's getting a little dark. I'm going to call it a night, you guys. I appreciate it so much. And it was a lot of fun. I'm glad you got to see him. And yeah, we'll do this next time. I'm going to try to do this, like I told Araceli, I'm going to try to do this on Sundays as much as possible. So if you see the announcement on the community page section of my YouTube channel for a post, I'll try to do like a 24-hour, hey, by the way, I'm going to go live before I actually go live. So, but we'll see you guys next time on Summerfield Farm and Draft Horses. I'll see you later, you guys. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching.